The following program is seen statewide on California Public Television and is a California's Gold holiday classic. They came to California back in the late 1840s to mine for gold. They were from Cornwall in England, and these Cornish miners were a hardy bunch. Now, when they came over, they brought with them their customs and traditions. And today, over 150 years after those first Cornish miners arrived in our state, one of their traditions, a Christmas tradition, is still very much a part of the holiday season. It's been in existence for well over 100 years, the Grass Valley Cornish Carol Choir, and it's definitely part of the colorful history up in Gold Country. Now, originally, the choir was made up entirely of men, many of them out of the mines, along with boys who sang the alto part. The choir quickly became a fixture, and each Christmas season they performed in churches and out on the street, in hospitals and convalescent homes for the old miners. They'd travel to San Francisco and Sacramento and were very much in demand. Everybody looking forward to hearing the Cornish choir sing their traditional Christmas hymns brought over from Cornwall.
And Mary bore Jesus, who died on the cross. And Mary bore Jesus Christ, our Savior, for to thee. And the first tree in the greenwood, it was the holly.
Well, these days the choir's still going strong. This is the annual Christmas concert at the United Methodist Church in Grass Valley. Now, some things have changed. Women are now singing alongside the men. But the Cornish songs they're singing are the originals. Now, Eleanor, you are the new choir director. How hard was it for you to pick up this tradition and understand exactly how this music is supposed to be sung?
Well, in the beginning it was kind of hard because the basses have a definite way of singing the music, and if I didn't direct it right, they stopped singing and they told me that I wasn't doing it correctly. So they don't follow me, I followed them, right?
So a lot of it is just kind of the way it's always been done.
Well, it was all learned by voice. We didn't have the music that Eleanor threw on us this year. And so there is a little confusion, but the bassists like to roll it out, and it's great. And so I think the other people are sort of catching on to how it should be done.
I was watching you during the concert. You didn't have any music. You didn't look at Eleanor hardly at all as the director. You were just singing.
No, I looked at Eleanor because I want to know when to stop.
No, but I mean, you really got into it.
Yeah, I love it, and I think we all do. Rick and Harold here, God, it's great.
What is it that's so infectious about this music?
Well, I think it's just born in you, and it's your heritage, and you love it. That's all I can say. You want to go.
The idea was that the boys sang what parts?
We sang alto. We sang the alto part, and then there was your lead tenors and your second tenors. But we sang the alto part.
So you sang the girls' part,
yeah.
What's now being sung by women in the choir.
Right, yeah. And I sang that up until 45, 46, and my voice went from alto to bass in a matter of 6 weeks, and I've been down in the basement ever since.
Now, you sound English. You have an English accent.
I am English. I come from England, and I just spend half a year here and half a year in England.
Now, are the Cornish carols popular in England these days as well?
No, not in East Anglia where I live, but down in Cornwall. I was talking to a Cornishman on the telephone, and he was asking me what we were singing. And Diadem, that's the one they sing in Cornwall.
So they know, they still sing in Cornwall. They sing these same songs that they're singing here in Grass Valley.
That's right. Yes, definitely. And they do it around the villages, the same as we do at home. I mean, I live in a village, and we go around the village and sing carols like this.
Well, do you find it a little interesting that you're singing Cornish songs here in California?
Oh, it's wonderful.
They're popular. They are the music of Cornwall. 100 years ago, today, 100 years from now, will be too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think 100 years from now, they'll still be singing these here in Grass Valley?
If anybody's singing anything in Cornwall, they will, and they probably will be here.
I would attest to that, yeah. We'll be singing them, Harold and I, 100 years from now.
And we'll be able to hear it booming down on us from up in heaven.
I hope not coming up from down below.
He comes his people to redeem with all his plenitude of grace.
Now, the little town of Grass Valley is located in the Sierra foothills, about 60 miles northeast of Sacramento, right in the heart of gold country. Thousands of Cornish miners and their families moved here in the mid-1800s. And today, the place still has a wonderful historic feel to it.
The angel of the Lord came down.
Now, every Christmas season, the Cornish choir would gather downtown on Mill Street, on the steps of the old Union newspaper building, to sing to passers-by. And today, they're still there in the exact same spot, singing the same hymns.
Peace on earth, goodwill to men. Christ is born in Bethlehem. Christ is born in Bethlehem. Peace on earth, goodwill to men. Christ is born in Bethlehem.
Always on Christmas Eve, rain, snow, no matter what, we would always sing on these steps of the Union.
On these steps right here?
Exactly. Yeah.
Why these steps?
Well, it was a very good place. If it was storming badly, only my dad, the director, had to stand out in the elements. The rest of us were kind of hidden back up. And then across the street, there are these old awnings, so people could get back under those. But that was the traditional Christmas Eve singing.
I started singing in 1948.
Oh, so you were here early on?
My mother's family came here in the early 1850s, and my father's family came here in 1914.
So there's a real sense of pride and continuity in this thing, isn't there?
Yes, I'm probably fourth, fifth, sixth generation in the choir.
Father and daughter in the same choir. Now, they didn't used to have little girls in the choir.
No, they had little boys in the choir that sang the ladies' parts. And I've been singing with the choir for about 4 years since we started up again, and I encouraged my daughter to join us this year.
And what do you think about being in the choir?
Love it.
You like it? What do you like about it?
I just like singing in it and being here.
Well, now, you didn't know, had you ever heard any of these songs before?
I've heard Diadem from my dad. He would come home and sing it. But that was with the bass singing. But that's all I've heard.
Is it hard to sing your part? Pretty easy, eh?
Yeah.
Well, it's part of the family tradition now. You're passing it on.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. We came up to Grass Valley some 5 years ago, and Grass Valley has some traditions here that it's like one large family, and a lot of neat events going on all the time, and the Cornish Christmas was really the center of it all.
Now, are you Cornish?
No, I'm not.
Well, they let you in anyway.
They let me in anyway.
The Cornish Choir's concert on the steps of the old Union newspaper building downtown happens regular as clockwork every Christmas season. Has been for years. But back in 1940, the choir performed in a very special place. Now, there are no sound recordings of that actual concert. What we're looking at now are some rare home movies made of it, though. A concert which took place 2,000 feet underground, deep in the Idaho, Maryland mine in Grass Valley. A concert broadcast nationwide on a live radio hookup. The idea was that for historic authenticity, the members of the choir would sing in the very mine where they and their family and friends actually worked day in and day out. Well, the broadcast was a huge success. It captured the imagination of the entire country. In fact, they're still talking about it in Grass Valley. Of course, that concert took place over 50 years ago, and this year it seemed about time to try it again. Now, the Idaho, Maryland mine, where the 1940 concert took place, has long since closed. It's boarded up and full of water. So 12 of the choir members headed up the road about 40 miles to the mining town of Allegheny to visit a mine that's still operating. Now, you want to see what going up a couple of thousand more feet in elevation will do for you in the northern Sierra. When we left Grass Valley, it was raining. 35 miles later and 2,000 feet higher, we were in the middle of a snowstorm. It was beautiful, though, an honest-to-goodness winter wonderland. And with the help of four-wheel drive, we finally arrived in Allegheny and went to the 16-to-1 gold mine.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the original 16-to-1 mine. We're standing outside the portal of this 100-year-old and still active gold mine here in California. So before we go inside, I'd like to take a minute, even though it's snowing, to show you a map of where we're going to go, give you a few instructions on dangers to look for and what to watch out, and in just a matter of a couple minutes we'll be inside. So let me grab this map.
Wait a minute, a question we had, if we find gold in there, do we get to keep it?
Huell.
That's just a question
well,
I thought I'd ask.
You know, if you find gold in here, we're going to have to talk to our miners to see what they've been doing the last week or so. Well, they're pretty good about trying to get most of it out, but there's still a little bit left. You know, I don't know if you know this, but this mine has produced over, here we go again, this mine has produced over 1 million ounces of gold, and where we're standing right now is in this direction, right by this portal. We're going to go in, some of you will be able to ride a train, and some of you will be walking. We'll go in the portal, about close to half a mile, and then we'll start down a little trail into an area that's very sacred for all of us that we call the ballroom. It's been specially prepared, and it should be like a moderate hike, we could call it. You'll have lights and there'll be candles along the way, and there's plenty of miners here with you to help you with some questions. If anybody gets anxiety, why, let us know on that too. Let me roll this map up, and I have one other thing I wanted to show you, Huell, and also some of your guests. Can I hand that to you? Thank you. Is there any gold left, did you say?
Oh.
This is the piece that came out in August 9th that we took to the county fair. And
wow.
It's probably been a while since you've held some gold. I bet you've held this before.
Yes, I have.
So what do you think of that piece, huh?
Well, it's heavy.
Pretty heavy. Have you ever seen that much gold together in one place?
Yep, I have.
Wow, there's a little bit of it coming off.
Oh, wow.
This actually... Who'd you bring up here? No, this one's called the Whopper, and it came out August 9th. It has 141 ounces of gold in it.
Wow.
And so this is one of our special pieces. And the interesting thing that makes this unusual, I'd like to show you for a minute. The drill, when they were drilling through this notch right here shows where the drill came through, and the gold was so wired together that it withstood the blast of the dynamite. So when they came into the muck pile, they found this piece buried in the muck and took it out as one piece. So it's a pretty unique piece.
You better put that in a safe place, and let's get loaded up. Is everybody ready to go in the mine? Okay. Here we go. Now, I don't mind telling you, we were all pretty excited about going down in the mine. First off, because of the adventure of it all. And secondly, because it was actually warmer inside the mine than outside. It stays 55 degrees inside year-round.
Oh, look at this. Now we have white quartz on both sides of it. White quartz. Oh, man. And here's a little hole over on the right. This where they broke through and the rays coming up. We're going in the gut of the mine now. This is where gold was produced from areas all around us.
Going down into the mine, the first part of the journey, we rode the tram. Then it was time to do some serious walking. Single file, down, way down. Everybody obviously in pretty good shape. But about halfway to our final destination, we did stop for a quick snack, which turned out to be historic in itself. Now we have stopped on our way down into the mine to have another part of Cornish tradition. Explain to us exactly what it is we're eating right now for lunch.
This is a pasty, P-A-S-T-I-E, if you want to call it that. Yeah. And it's comprised of potatoes, beef, onions, and a good pastry, good rich pastry.
Now, is this
what coated with milk? The pastry is coated with milk.
Is this what the miners, the Cornish miners, ate down in the mines?
Sure they did.
They ate these and they warmed them up. They had a kind of a 2-layer lunch box and they put a candle underneath to heat things up, and these were warm when we got to eat them underground.
So in your lifetime, you've had a few of these things?
Quite a few.
Quite a few?
Thousands.
We used to have them every Thursday, and my father had one every day down the mine.
Really?
That's right.
Well, after our pasty snack, we hit the trail again. And about 10 minutes later, we reached our destination. A huge room carved out by miners. Now, when we got there, there was a sense of anticipation, of excitement in the air, because it was here that history would repeat itself, as the Cornish choir would once again sing their Christmas songs deep in a mine. Okay, here we are down in the mine. What do you think?
Well, it's going to sound a little different from what we're used to, but it's going to be fun.
What do you think the acoustics are going to sound like down here?
Oh, it's going to be wonderful, because all this jagged rock just knocks all the echo out of everything.
Have you ever sung in a mine before?
No, never have.
Has anybody ever sung in a mine before?
Just by myself.
Never as a group?
No.
Harold did. Didn't you, Harold?
Harold, did you ever sing down here?
Well, one time about 40 years or so ago, yeah.
So this is going to be an experience in itself, just hearing the sound that you all make. Is everybody ready?
We're ready.
Eleanor, you ready?
Sure.
Okay, here we go.
Sound, sound your instruments of joy. Sound, sound your instruments of joy. To triumph shake each string. To triumph shake each string. With shouts of universal joy. Welcome, welcome, welcome your newborn King.
Now you're carrying on a tradition too, because when you look at the old pictures, the engineer was crouched down right beside where the choir was singing down in the mine. What is it like technically to record a broadcast like this?
Well, the room's real lively. It seems one microphone could be placed anywhere in the room and get excellent sound. So it's a very unique experience in that aspect. The technology, of course, has advanced considerably in 50 years, but it's great. I mean, it's great just to be a part of it.
Did you have any idea how to set up as far as the microphones were concerned to record something like this?
No.
You've never recorded in a mine before.
No, we had no idea what we could do. We just thought we'd experiment a little bit and move around, and the liveliness, the room is so unique that it just doesn't seem to matter where we put a microphone. It's picking up everything.
Well, you're carrying on part of the tradition yourself.
Great to be a part of it.
Lo, the eastern sages rise.
Now, you've both worked in mines. Was it worth the trip down to do this today?
This was wonderful, just grand.
It was a great thrill.
Now, how long has it been since you've been in a working mine?
Oh, since 1937, I guess I was there. I was there in 37 when I was trying to get a little money to go back to college.
Uh-huh.
And that was it.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
And how long's it been for you?
I quit in 1941 and went to work for the telephone company.
So it's been 50 years since you've been in a mine?
52 years. Yeah.
Well, does it seem familiar to you? Does it seem comfortable for you to be back in a mine?
I'm right at home.
Yeah.
Of course it is. It's a great experience.
You just got to remember to keep your head down.
That's about it.
Shepherds watch their flocks by night, all seated on the ground, all seated on the ground. The angel of the Lord came down, and glory, and glory shone around.
Now, Harold, your dad directed the Cornish choir when it performed in a mine back in the early 1940s, didn't it?
Yes, that's right, about 50 years ago.
Did you go down in the mine to watch that performance?
Well, yes, I was down with the group that year.
What was it like?
Well, it was a little different than this. We didn't have to walk in. We rode an incline shaft down, and then there was a large room about the size of this one, but it had a flat floor. And there they had telephone lines for NBC and so forth. And we sang at that particular station.
Was everybody excited about the whole concept of performing on nationwide radio?
Yeah, I think they were more than excited. They were really up on top. That's the only time, really, that the choir had ever, as a choir, gone down below and sung, and never had since until right now.
So we're really reenacting history in a way here
Yeah,
today.
that we are. Second time around.
Fear not, said he, for mighty dread had seized their troubled mind, had seized their troubled mind. Glad tidings of great joy I bring to you and you and you and you and you and you and to you and all mankind.
The Cornish people, and they brought these songs from Cornwall with them, from the tin mines where they worked over there. And they were brought over here to do the underground hard rock mining, which was new to this area, but it was old hand over there in Cornwall.
Well, the type of mining changed and the location where they lived changed, but the songs are the same.
The songs lingered on, and they're still here today, thank goodness.
Behold,
Well, hello, everybody. I'm Huell Hauser, and I sure hope you enjoyed this California's Gold Holiday Classic. If you'd like to see this program again or share it with family and friends, it's available on video cassette and on DVD. All you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727, and we'll be glad to send it to you right away. And happy holidays!